I'm going to start with the most asked questions, the biggest pain point was lead generation. So what I want to do is I want to talk about our agency, Webris. I think it's important to know how many leads that we get at our agency and how we get them. So we have our Slack channel hooked up directly to our forms on our website. So every time that we get a new lead, it gets pushed in here to our Slack channel. So you can see all these leads that are coming in. So really over the past day or two, we're getting a couple leads per day. And this is over the holiday season too. So you can see, we're getting anywhere between, I would say, 10 to 15 leads per week. The important thing to note here too is obviously, Jared already kind of commented it. Well, A, qualified leads, B, leads that have the funding, C, leads that are qualified to work with. So as I get through this, I'm going to talk about some strategies that we deploy to really help us to kind of beat back, as they say, the tire kickers, right? So how are we getting all these leads? What are we doing? And a lot of you might be sitting there thinking, well, you have a huge YouTube channel, you got a following, you've been doing this for a while. Yes, that definitely plays into it. But a large majority of our leads are actually coming from paid traffic to cold traffic to people who have no idea who we are or what it is that we do. The second form of leads is coming from outbound sales. And the third lead is coming from content generation. So those are really the three things that I always tell people to focus on, depending on what stage you're at with your agency, because as always in this business, in this game, there's a trade-off. You either have the time or you have the money and the resources. The bigger your agency gets, the less time you're going to have, the more resources you're going to get. So you can kind of picture this as a shifting scale. When you have more time, getting active on social media, creating content, doing things like outbound lead generation are going to be your best friends. As you get more resources and less time, paid traffic is going to be your best friend. And that's kind of where we're at. We're in that space where, to be completely blunt, I don't spend a ton of time at the agency. 2023, I have a lot more plans this time, spend time at the agency, really have goals to get this company to $10 million a year in revenue. But essentially we rely very heavily on paid traffic. We're getting leads off of Facebook ads for around $100. We actually have a program in the blueprint that we pushed last year. So when it comes to content, again, if you actually go to law.webris.org, something that we've been working on a lot at our agency is really refining our positioning. We've been through a couple of different iterations here. If you go to webris.org, just our main domain, you'll still see kind of our general targeting here. So this is going after pretty much anyone who's looking for SEO services. Very broad, kind of playing on the whole SEO sprint angle. It's worked very well for us, made us over $1 million in yearly revenue. It works very well. But when we really looked at the subset of who we wanted to focus on in terms of getting our retainer value up, working with folks who were able to really grow and scale with us, it was attorneys. It was a large part of our portfolio. It also turned out to be the part of our client portfolio that was getting the best results, and also didn't really have much pushback on pricing, and also were pretty much the lowest headache clients that we have. So we decided to dive all in on attorneys about 6 months ago, and we're rebuilding our entire messaging and our entire website, our entire marketing. So when I talk about content, right, if you actually go to the blog over here, what you'll see, all these graphics are being changed. I hate them. But what we've already started to do is I went out and hired a writer, and I started getting blog posts written specifically about all the different pillars of what it is that we do. So our offer here is pretty simple. We call it blended search. You can read about it on the website. We're essentially doing paid search and organic search at the same time with the goal of driving leads. Why? Attorneys care about leads. They care about phone calls. They don't care about traffic. They don't care about rankings. They just want to make more money. So our entire offer is rebuilt less around the concept of SEO and sprints and much more around, hey, attorneys, we're going to generate leads, and we're going to do it through a mixture of paid and organic search. So if you go to our blog, you can already see 6 posts up here that are all specifically for attorneys. We've got a post here about Avo. We've got a post about lead generation, post about SEO, post about local SEO. This one's specific to SEO with immigration. This one is about pay-per-click for lawyers. So what we're trying to do here is just build content that is servicing the pillars of our service to our avatar, right? So when we talk about not having an avatar, not having a position, content marketing becomes really difficult. This is kind of the whole point of this long-winded thing that I'm showing here. Content marketing becomes very difficult because if you're just trying to push out content about SEO or just paid search or just local SEO, it's so broad and people just don't care about it. But when you tack on the fact that it's for a specific type of avatar, and then all the messaging and all the languaging across all your content and all your web profiles are really speaking to that avatar, it makes a very big difference. Not just in the ability to generate leads, because obviously attorneys want to work with firms that are specifically built and focused on solving their problems, but also when it comes to operations, when it comes to, again, marketing, when it comes to targeting, because again, when we start talking about ads in just 1 second, off the back of content, we're also running a lot of ads. If you don't know who you're targeting, right? If you're just like, we do SEO or we do websites, it's really hard to do you can't target people on Facebook for just general, like people who want SEO. Again, if you think about like a funnel, people who want SEO, they could be a wide variety of folks. And there's really no way to drill into that. And when it comes to outbound too, which we talked about as a lead generation tactic, it's really difficult to do that as well. So all of this stuff here, when it comes to lead generation, you're really doing yourself a massive disservice if you have not specifically defined who your ICP is, right? So that's a lot of the content that we're doing. We also have a YouTube channel and a LinkedIn page. I strongly suggest you check those out for our brand, because all that is pushing out content that's hyper specific to attorneys and hyper specific to our offer and to the problems that they're having. What problem are they having? They need more leads. What's our offer? Well, we do it with paid and organic search. So if you go to our LinkedIn page, you'll see some content on there already. In 2023, we've already got 3 months worth of content loaded up. That's already scheduled out. So I do encourage you to follow our YouTube channel for Webris and for LinkedIn. Those are the 2 channels that we've really identified, plus our blog. So when it comes to content, that's what we're focused on. We're focused on building content that's hyper specific to helping our client solve their problems and communicate that we're capable of solving those problems. And then B, we're pushing those out to the platforms where we know that we can reach attorneys, and that's LinkedIn and that's YouTube. Those are the 2 platforms that we're focused on, and then the blog, of course, for search purposes. So that's content marketing. And again, where a lot of folks struggle with content marketing is like, I don't know what to post. Just go talk to attorneys, talk to who your avatar is. What problems are they having? It doesn't have to just be what you're doing. So you start, like, I look at content marketing as like concentric circles. You always start on the inner circle, which is going to be the service and the offer that you're providing. So that's why the initial content that you're seeing is kind of like our foundational content about what we do, because those are the people that are deepest in the funnel. If they're specifically interested in finding out about paid search or SEO or lead generation as an attorney, then we've got that content that can help guide them through, right? And again, click through our website, you'll figure out how we have it linked up and all the different stuff in there. And then after that, after the first concentric circle, then we start moving out a little bit more. So that's where we start talking about things like Avo, right? FindLaw, like all these different platforms that attorneys should be on. And then we can even scope out into like video marketing and TikTok. Again, these are a little bit outside of what we're doing as a scope for our clients, but this is how you really scale the content creation. This is how you generate more and more top funnel attention and awareness and reach. So when you don't have the resources to pay for ads, to do maybe outbound, content marketing is the best place to start. And again, specifically when it comes to like LinkedIn, like you should be posting on LinkedIn, right? I say this all the time to folks. I give people a lot of shit that, when they come to us and they're like, hey, I struggle to generate leads. And the first thing I say is, show me your LinkedIn profile, show me your Twitter profile, show me your Facebook profile, show me your Instagram profile, show me that you care, show me that you're putting in the energy to even have the audacity to complain about not having leads. Because if you're complaining about leads and you're not even posting on social media, then like, I don't want to hear about it, because you haven't even taken the first step. This is free. It takes a little bit of time. It takes effort, of course, but everything in business does, right? So start with your social media platforms. And if you're going to start with something specific, always start with LinkedIn. That's always going to be the best place for you to do that. So that's our very high level content strategy when it comes to that. A VSL, I want to talk quickly about a VSL because I have a video on my YouTube channel that I've posted. You can check it out there more if you want like a lot more specific insights about a VSL. But a VSL is essentially a 4 to 14 minute video that is hyper specific to your offer. So I'm actually about to post one that we just did for Webris for attorneys on the Webris YouTube channel. Definitely check that out. It should be live either today or tomorrow. Essentially, it's 14 minutes and it literally just addresses the problem head on. Attorneys, you have a problem with lead generation. We even went out, we found data online. Literally, if you just search for if you're working with contractors, like contractor marketing statistics 2023, you'll see these articles that give you data. Data is always a great place to start with this because you can build an argument around it, right? So the argument that we've made is I found 2 stats. The first stat says that aside from hiring and long hours, the number one problem that law firms face is inability to generate new cases for their business. Boom, that's easy for us, right? That's a huge data point. And that slaps people in the face. Again, it's black and white, it's data, it's proven. And they know that it resonates with them. Then the second piece of data that I found showed where the majority of law firms spend their marketing budgets, which was like bus benches, email marketing, events, sponsorships. So the argument that I make in this VSL, right, we're picking a side, we're picking a position, we're being very argumentative, saying as a law firm, you struggle to generate new business, you struggle with marketing. And understandably so, we're not chastising them. It's because you're an attorney, like you're not a marketer, right? And it's not because law firms aren't trying. The data shows that law firms spend hundreds of $1 millions a year on marketing. They're just putting in the wrong places, right? Like putting up buzz bench ads is not going to generate leads. It's not a good way to do it. So problem, we state the problem, you have trouble generating leads. We agitate it with some data, nudging them a little bit saying, hey, you can't argue with this. You're spending your money the wrong way. And then solution. Hey, we've got this framework. It's called blended search. We go after paid search and organic search at the same time. We use paid search to go out and prospect for new keywords. We then push those into organic campaigns. It is the fastest, most effective way to generate new leads for your law firm. That's essentially it. And then we just kind of walk through the framework a little bit, and then we leave one call to action at the end to book a call for a traffic projection analysis. So basically what we do with that is we push it out organically. We're going to push it out on LinkedIn. We're going to push it out on YouTube. We're going to try and get as much eyeballs to it organically. But really the secret sauce behind a VSL is paid traffic. So again, the final part of our lead generation framework is paid traffic. So we really are only running 3 types of campaigns. On Facebook ads, we're actually testing LinkedIn ads too, but I don't want to complicate things. So the first type of traffic that we're running is very high level, just attention. This is who we like, just content. So we're taking the content that we're creating, the content that I showed you from the blogs, the videos, we have videos for all that stuff too. And we're just pushing that on Facebook, and we're trying to target attorneys. Anybody who has law or legal in their job titles, we're targeting them on Facebook, and we're just running videos to them, trying to pick up video views to build an audience, right? That's campaign 1. It's just audience building. Campaign 2 is going to be direct response, trying to get them to book a traffic projection analysis. This is all available to you in the blueprint. So draft projection analysis is kind of a better way of, instead of saying, hey, get a free proposal. And the reason why that's so critical, right, is because we're talking about trying to get people to convert. And we think about like a funnel, right? Or levels of awareness, right? People who are looking for a proposal are all the way down deep in the funnel. They already know what SEO is. They already know what we do. They already know about a lot of things. They're just like, yeah, I'm interested in talking to you about working together. That doesn't really happen from a single touch point on paid traffic, right? You can't just like run. This is why so many people fail with paid traffic, because they just put out ads. They're like, yeah, get a proposal for SEO service. Like, why? Who are you? Why would we do that, right? So the traffic rejection analysis is it's like a micro macro conversion. In other words, it's a lot more value to the person who's opting into it because they're getting something from it. So the traffic projection analysis, they get an actual PDF that shows them how much traffic they could be getting, right? It answers a question that they have inside of them before they're ready to convert. So before, which is a much bigger market, right? The people who are already looking for a proposal, great, go to our website, get a proposal there. But on paid traffic, we want to appease to them a little bit more by making them an offer that just inherently has a lot more value to them and for them. So the traffic projection analysis crushes it when we run it to paid traffic. So that's campaign number 2, is we're basically saying, hey, if I don't have the copy off the top of my head, we actually have this in the blueprint, but essentially just being like, look at SEO is, Google is still king. Most of your customers are looking for you on Google. You're not ranking. Let us show you how many customers you could be getting from Google every single month. It crushes it, and we generate leads that way. And then the third and final one is going to be VSL one, right? So the first campaign is going to be audience building with video and content, just getting people aware of who we are, the value that our knowledge, our expertise. We're running about 30% of our budget there. Another 30% of the budget is going direct response advertising, trying to get people to opt in for a traffic projection analysis. And then the third type is getting people to opt in to watch the VSL. So the VSL, we're pushing it publicly for free on our YouTube channel and on LinkedIn, just to whoever's available to want to watch it that's already in our ecosystem. But then we're running the VSL behind an email opt-in, right, to get them to opt in and then watch the VSL. And then after they opt in for the email, they're getting automated emails from us. And we also have a very big goal internally to build an email list full of attorneys, because it's still one of the best ways to convert folks into leads over time. So I'm just kind of out here rambling about our lead generation strategies on paid traffic and content, but they all kind of tie together, right? That's why I started talking about our positioning, right? And who we're talking to, because all this stuff down the line, like if you've tried paid traffic before and you're like, it doesn't work, Ryan, you're full of shit. It's like, well, probably because you were doing it wrong. I don't mean that disrespectfully, because I see it all the time. Like I've audited hundreds of businesses a year who, they pay me for a one-off audit to just look at their marketing, and I can tell within 2 seconds what their problem is. And it usually comes down to inability to create content that resonates with people because they don't know who they should be speaking to. And 2 is the other reason is because they have a terrible offer that people just don't care about, right? So like I already talked about that, right? Like just running, like, hey, get a proposal from our agency. Like, no, I don't know who you are. I'm not interested. But if they've seen a video of you talking about how you helped, XYZ law firm or whoever your targeting is generate leads with this new cool strategy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's one touch point, right? After they see that, they're going to be much more likely, much more receptive to responding to an offer from you. So we talk about these things extensively inside the blueprint. It's really the core of our program, right? Positioning, offer design. And it really is the reason why so many B2B companies struggle, and they try and put the cart before the horse. They try and get on Facebook. They try and get on paid search. They try and get on YouTube. They try and get on LinkedIn. And they're like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, no, it works. It's not working for you because you skipped a step here, right?